I am making a Dragon Ruler deck profile since I managed to get all the stuff I needed for Dragon Ruler. And look, unfortunately, or fortunately for me, depending on how you look at it, I didn't really start playing this game competitively, air quotes on competitively, until after the Dragon Ruler format. So I'm actually kind of curious to see how this deck does. But one thing I will go ahead and mention that this is in fact pure Dragon Ruler, as I have no intention of playing Dragon Link variant or the Tenpai Dragon variant. As I'm just playing, made the Dragon Ruler deck to be able to play Dragon Rulers. So starting off with the monsters, I play 3 copies of Spectral Dragon Ruler of Flickers. Dragon Ruler of Flickers has the effect that you can discard it another dragon or light monster. As if I remember correctly, all the Dragon Rulers share that effect where you can discard itself and either a dragon or another monster with the same attribute. But Flicker will let you add 2 Dragon Ruler monsters from your deck to your hand, except for another Spectral. And then it also has the Grave effect, I believe it's a Grave effect. Yep, you can banish this card and another dragon or light monster from your graveyard and target a Chasma Dragon Ruler of Auroras. I apologize, I don't have the effect memorized. But you target a Chasma in your graveyard, special summon it, and you can only use one of the effects of Flicker per turn and only once that turn. So, if you use the effect and the discard effect, you cannot use the banish effect in the same turn. And then next I play 1 copy of Nebulous Dragon Ruler of Mishaps. Mishaps lets you discard itself and then either another dragon or dark to then be able to target 2 of your Dragon Ruler monsters that with different attributes. Where is it? One minute, my brain's not wanting to process this for some reason. I apologize. That's the entire 2 of your banished Dragon Ruler monsters with different attributes, except for another Nebulous. Special summon them, but they cannot attack this turn. And then this has the exact same grave effect as Spectral, where you can summon a what's its name? Flicker lets you summon this one, and Nebula lets you summon Eclipse Dragon Ruler Catastrophe. And I bumped the camera. I apologize, I did not mean to bump the camera. And then, outside of Flicker, you pretty much play 1 of each of the other Dragon Rulers. Lightning Dragon Ruler drafts. Let's see what these all do. Discard a dragon itself and a dragon or a monster with the same attribute. Special summon the corresponding Dragon Ruler, but it cannot attack this turn. Okay, so 1 lightning, 1 burner, 1 stream, and 1 reactant. Each of these 4 Dragon Rulers has the effect that you can discard it and another monster with the corresponding attribute to summon the Dragon Ruler with the same attribute. So Burner summons Blaster, Stream summons Tidal, Reactant summons Redox, and Lightning summons Tempest. Speaking of, I play 2 copies of Blaster, Dragon Ruler of Infernos. Blaster has the effect that if cards in your hand or graveyard can banish a total of 2 fire and or dragon monsters from your hand or graveyard to then special summon itself. And then if it's summoned this way, it's still on the field at the end of the turn, it returns to your hand. And then you can discard itself and another fire or dragon monster to add a fire monster from deck to hand. And then see, just gonna make sure. Okay, that's a fire dragon monster. So all the Dragon Rulers do the exact same thing, except it has to be a monster with the corresponding attributes. So Blaster lets you add fire. Tidal lets you add water. Tempest lets you add a wind. And Redox lets you add an Earth. However, I believe they each have their own unique effects that activate when they are banished. See, this card is banished. You can add Earth from your hand. This card. I think I may have got those effects mixed up. One moment. So I checked, and I was correct or incorrect. Each of the dragon rulers have the effect that when they're banished, you can add a dragon monster of the same attribute. So Blast lets you add a fire dragon, but they each have different effects if you discard them. Like Blaster, when discarded, will let you will let you target a card on the field and destroy it. Tidal will then let you send a monster from your deck to the graveyard. Tempest will let you add a dragon monster, and Redox is Monster Reborn. Like I said, I have yet to actually test the deck against anyone, but this is just what I currently have for my testing phase. And next, for hand traps, I play 3 copies of Droll and Lockbird. Droll and Lockbird can only be activated during the main phase, but if your opponent adds a card from the deck to the hand, you can activate Droll and Lockbird's effect, discarding itself. And I believe, so that neither player can add cards from the deck to the hand for the turn, except by drawing them. Right? Nope. You can't even draw. I keep getting Droll and Lockbird's effect confused with Thunder Dragon Colossus. And then next, I play 3 copies of Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler has the effect that during your opponent's main phase, you can discard it to the graveyard. Target an effect monster your opponent controls, negates effects. And then next, I play 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Ash Blossom can just negate anything that would move a card from your opponent's deck, or from deck to grave, deck to hand, or deck to field. However, from deck to field, it has to be a special summon, so it can't just be like, oh, I'm going to place this card face up from deck. And then next, I play 3 copies of Milcharmy Fuwalos. Fuwalos has the effect that you can only activate its effect while you control no cards. And then every time your opponent special summons from deck or extra deck, you get to draw 1 card. And then during the end phase, if you have more cards than your opponent has on the field plus 6, then you randomly shuffle cards from your hand back to the deck until the number of cards in your hand matches what your opponent has. So like if your opponent ends their turn, they have 8 cards in hand, you can have 14 at most in your hand. And then you can only use you can only use 2 Milcharmy effects per turn. Now then, moving on to the spells, I play 1 copy of Dragon Ravine. Dragon Ravine has the effect that once per turn you can discard a card to send a dragon from your deck to the graveyard. It has another effect, but since Dragoonity is not played in this deck, or since I don't play any Dragoonity monsters outside of Romulus, that effect doesn't really do anything. And then next I play 1 copy of Gold Sarcophagus. This just lets you banish a monster from your deck. And then during your second standby phase after activation, you add that banished monster to your hand. But in this case, you can use it to then banish one of the original 4 dragon rulers to then activate their effects. So you can add, you can have Blaster, add Blaster, or you can have Tidal, add Tidal. Or if you want to add one of the smaller ones for some reason. But pretty much Gold Sarcophagus can be used to search any dragon that is wind, water, fire, or earth. And then I am trying to play 3 Here There Be Dragons. Here There Be Dragons has the effect that you special on a dragon ruler monster from your hand, graveyard, or banish. And then immediately after the effect resolves, you can Xyz summon a Dragon Ruler Xyz monster using only Dragon Ruler monsters you control. And then during your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target any number of your banished Dragon Ruler monsters with different attributes. Return them to the graveyard. If I end up not liking this card, then I'm probably just going to take them out for a 3rd copy of each of the Dragon Rulers. And then next, I play 3 copies of Sacred Sword of 7 stars. Sacred Sword just lets you banish level 7 monster from your hand to draw 2 cards. And then to keep up the draw power, I play 3 copies of Super Rejuvenation. Super Rejuvenation has the effect that during the end phase, you can draw 1 card for each dragon that was tributed or discarded in your possession. And since each of the Dragon Ruler cards require you to discard another itself and a dragon, if you get at least one of those off, then this will let you draw 2 cards during the end phase. Which I don't think it actually has any thing that makes it like once per turn, so technically you could activate multiples. Although I think it doesn't stack, though. I don't know about that. If you know whether or not Super Rejuvenation stacks or not, comment down below, because I would like to know the answer to that. And then to finish off the main deck, I play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence just lets you target an effect monster your opponent controls, negates effects until the end of the turn. You can activate this card from your hand if you control no face-up cards. And then lastly, it has the effect that if this card was set when it was activated, then it negates all spells and traps in its column until the end of the turn. And then I believe my current build for Dragon Ruler is a 42 card deck. So if I add a 3rd copy of each of the Dragon Rulers, then and take out the Here There Be Dragons, then it'll be a 43 card deck. Like I said, I have yet to actually test the deck against anyone, so there's that. For the extra deck, I play 1 copy of Striker Dragon. This is just to link off, and then I might add Boot Sector to launch to the deck just for a discard fodder. And next I play 1 copy of Heretic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres. This is just a card that during your opponent's turn has a quick effect. You contribute 1 monster on your field. Usually it'll tribute itself to then target a monster your opponent controls, return to the hand. And then if Spheres is tributed, then you can special summon a dragon monster from your deck with its attack and defense becoming 0. I will go ahead and say it now, I do want to play 1 copy of Kwakimeru Drago in this deck, just to play with this, as Drago has the effect that while it's on the field, neither player can special summon. So you bounce and then you get a thing where it's like, oh, your opponent can't special summon. Also, it's a winged dragon, so therefore it is actually searchable off of Tidal. Or not Tidal, Tempest. Then next, I play 1 copy of Dreary Knight Romulus. Romulus has the effect when it's Link Summoned, you can add Dragon Ravine from your deck to your hand. And then it also has the effect that if a dragon monster is special summoned from your extra deck to a zone this card points to, then you can special summon a dragon or winged beast monster from your hand in defense position. But that summoned monster has its effects negated and cannot attack. So it can just be used to help extend your Xyz plays. Then next I play 1 copy of SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight has the effect that if it's Link summoned using a Link, Fusion, Synchro, or Xyz monster, then you can target 1 card on the field or in the graveyard and banish it. However, to use that effect, none of your monsters can attack directly that turn. Then SP also has the effect that when your opponent activates a card or effect, then you can banish both 1 monster you control and 1 other monster on the field. So like an example, if your opponent activates Dark Hole, you can use SP's effect, banishing itself, and another monster you want to keep should the end phase arrive. And then during the end phase, both your monsters will return to your field. And you can only use each effect of SP Little Knight once per turn. The next, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The next 9 monsters in the extra deck are rank 7, which I start off with 1 copy of Disaster, Dragon Ruler of All Apocalypse. Or All Apocalypses. Makes me think of True King of All Calamities. Which, I forget what this card does, honestly. I'll be right back. Let's see. If this card succeeds summon, you can target up to 4 level 7 Dragon Ruler monsters in your graveyard and or banish attachments to this card. Then you can banish all monsters your opponent or from your opponent's field and graveyard with the same attribute as this card's materials. You only use this effect of Disaster Dragon Ruler of all Apocalypses once per turn. While this card has light, dark, earth, water, fire, and wind Dragon Ruler monsters as material, it gains 4,600 attack and defense. Also, it's unaffected by other cards' effects. So usually what you'll do with this is you'll make Chasma and Eclipse. I think that's what the name was. You'll make Eclipse and Chasma using the original 4 Dragon Rulers. And then you'll overlay those two to summon Disaster. And then Disaster can then take the other 4 that are into the grave. Okay, no, never mind. I don't remember what... I watched a video once and I'm just lost, apparently. But anyway, I know it's not as hard as it seems to give it all 4 or all 6 attributes, but meh. Anyway, next I play 1 copy number 11 Big Eye. Big Eye has the effect that once per turn you can detach material, target a monster your opponent controls, take control of it, and then Big Eye cannot attack for the rest of the turn. Or is it just you cannot attack direct? Okay, yeah, cannot attack directly the turn that used that effect. That's what it was. Next, I play 2 copies of Eclipse Dragon Ruler Catastrophes. Eclipse has the effect that if this card exceeds summon, you can target level 4 lower Dragon Ruler in your graveyard or banishment. Special summon 1 level or rank 7 Dragon Ruler monster that is mentioned on that targeted monster from your deck or banishment, then shuffle the targeted monster back into the deck. When your opponent activates a spell, trap card, or effect, quick effect, you can detach 2 materials from this card. Negate the activation. If you do, banish that card. You can only use each effect of Eclipse, Dragon Ruler of Catastrophe once per turn. Next, I play 1 copy of Dark Armed Dragon of Annihilation. Dark Armed has the effect that once per turn, if you have exactly 5 dark monsters in your graveyard, you can also actually summon it by using a Dark Armed Dragon. You can also summon Dark Armed Dragon of Annihilation by using a level 5 or higher dark monster you control. You're never going to use that effect. The main effect you want is you can detach material from it, target card your opponent controls, destroy it, then banish your card from your graveyard. So you can banish a Dragon Ruler and trigger its effect to get another search. Now next, I play 1 copy of Blaze, Supreme Ruler of all Dragons. I really wish it was Supreme Dragon Ruler, so then it would have actually been a part of the archetype it's supposed to be a part of. But Blaze has the effect that I genuinely forget what it does. Once per turn, you can detach material from this card. Then destroy 2 cards, 1 from your hand or field, and 1 your opponent controls. And then you can banish a total of 2 fire and or dragon monsters from your hand or graveyard to special summon this card from your graveyard, but return to the extra deck when it leaves the field. You only use each effect of Blaze, Supreme Ruler of all Dragons, once per turn. So the main thing I like about this is that it's able to constantly be able to get you more resources while also getting rid of your opponent's cards, similar to Dark Armed. Then next, it's just for like time rules. I play 1 copy of Red Ice Fire Metal Dragon. When every time your opponent activates a card or effect, then your opponent takes 500 points of damage. And then it cannot be destroyed by card effects while it has material. No, its other effects matter because Red Eyes is not in this deck. And then next, I play 2 copies of Chasma, Dragon Ruler of Auroras. Chasma has the effect that as a quick effect, you can send a level 7 Dragon Ruler monster from your deck to the graveyard and detach material from this card. This effect becomes that monster's effect that discards its effect. So you can activate its effect, detach material, and send Inferno or Blaster to the graveyard to then target card your opponent controls and destroy it. Just an example. And then remember, this thing does more than that. I just don't remember what it actually is. Then if this card destroys a battle, or if this card in its owner's control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can then special summon a level 7 Dragon Ruler monster from your graveyard or banishment and you can only use each effective Chasma Dragon Ruler of Auroras once per turn. And then to finish off the extra deck, I play one copy of Typhon. If your opponent has summoned from the extra deck at least twice on their last turn, then you can special summon this card by using the monster on your field with the highest original attack. And then while it's on the field, monsters that have 3,000 or more attack cannot activate their effects. And then once per turn, you can detach material to then target one monster your opponent controls, return it to the hand. And then lastly, I play one copy of Divine Arsenal AA Zeus Sky Thunder. Zeus is just a not once per turn, not once per chain. You can detach 2 materials from this card to then send all other cards on the field to the graveyard. And I believe it's some other effect. It's like if another card leaves the field, you can add to this card's material. Once per turn, if another card or cards you control destroy a battle or plant opponent's card effect, you can attach 1 card from your hand, deck, or extra deck to this card's material. That's what it was. And that is it for my Dragon Ruler deck profile. If you have any ideas what I can do to improve the deck, while still keeping it not be Dragon Ruler Link, or Tenpai Dragon, mainly because I don't have those 2 things, feel free to comment down below. I always read the comments. Thank you for watching if you're still here.